We all know how dangerous and feared snakes are. If you see one, let's just say you're out of luck, especially if it's hungry. And that's what leads to snakes having so much confidence. But they're not always the winners in every duel. There comes a time when you realize you need more than just confidence to win alone. The result sometimes not so great for the snake. Here are 11 times snakes have chosen the wrong opponent. Number 11. Quick Mongoose versus the Black Mamba. Not many people know this, but the Black Mamba is very dangerous. These snakes are actually brown, even though they are called the Black Mamba. And worse than anything else, they have gained the reputation of being extremely fast and having a venom so poisonous that those that have been bitten have almost always died. Now, if you don't understand what was just stated, let's just say this from the sources. Almost 99 out of 100 bitten suspects have died. And worse than anything else, only 2 drops of it can kill large animals such as a lion, a hippopotamus, or even an elephant. Many say that if a human was to be bitten in less than 20 minutes, he would completely collapse. But not the mongoose. Here you will see the mongoose is not afraid of the Black Mamba. In fact, he actually tries to attack it with little fear. And look at the tail of the mongoose, just giving it so much balance to move from side to side. But why is this no shock at all to researchers? Well, it's simple. Their bodies are immune to the venom. And in many cases, they just rip the snakes apart and leave them to die. Number 10. The Scavenging Secretary Bird versus a King Cobra. They have long skinny feet and walk like humans. And just like humans, they are known for their powerful kicks. And in many cases, they are seen eating the snakes alive. Its ancient Latin nickname is Catcher of Snake. Look at how it just kicks the king cobra to death, as they are a snake's worst nightmare. Number 9. Alpha Monitor Lizard versus the Rattlesnake. As you have heard multiple times in your childhood classroom, stay away from the rattlesnake when you're out in the wilderness, and if you hear its rattle, run for your life. These snakes are known to not only be deadly, but with a bite, your blood literally freezes. But why does the monitor lizard care less about any of the rattlesnake's worries we just mentioned? Think of it like this. Just like the mongoose, they are immune to snake venom, as their bodies don't really show any reaction. Here you will see it not only killing the rattlesnake, but munching down on it like it's eating a delicious pizza and dragging it across the ground. Number 8. The Jumping Rabbit Defends Itself versus the Snake. Remember now, snakes love rabbits as they are high in protein, and best of all, they will keep the snake full for long periods of time. Many rabbits even fear snakes, but today, something just went against all the scorecards. You will see the rabbit suffering for a while, but after a couple minutes, he all of a sudden decides that he wants to live. As cocky as the snake was, at the end, he just ran away and called it quits. Not so tough after all. Let's just say the next time he meets a rabbit in the future, he will think twice about attacking. Number 7. Courageous mother cat defending her children versus a python. Look at this video of a mother going Hail Mary to protect her family. You can see in the face-off, both the snake and the cat are fearless. And every time the python comes in for the attack, the mother cat gives it the famous cat slap of "Get the heck out of my cave." Almost like a cat Bruce Lee. Eventually, the snake gives up and went back into the forest, calling it quits. You might say to yourself, the snake will keep going till it eats, but just one altercation like this actually leaves the snake exhausted and too tired to keep fighting. Number 6. The sneaky honey badger taking out a mole snake. Let's just say this, they are a snake's worst enemy, as these animals are definitely not large predators, but they are the true definition of fighter spirit and never giving up. But this is not what makes them kill snakes with little to no effort. Their bodies have a natural venom repellent, and no matter how many times the snakes bite them, for some reason, nothing happens. Best of their skin is extremely thick, so fangs can't really even penetrate the skin of the honey badger. Here you see the honey badger trying to bite the snake's head off, even though the snake tries to attack the honey badger. It's a 0% threat. And after a couple of minutes, the snakes realize that its best defense is just to run away. But it won't get away that easy, as the honey badger comes in for revenge and rips the snakes to pieces, starting with its head. Number 5. Alligator swallowing a python. The Burmese python is one of the biggest snakes to exist on planet Earth, so just know its size is intimidating. And the average one runs about 8 feet long, and they squeeze like maniacs with hundreds of pounds of force. And they are not only in Southeast Asia, but are being more and more seen in Florida nowadays, becoming a threat to Florida's alligators. As you can see here, when it attacks the alligator at first, you think it's an easy meal. It even wraps its body around it, but soon after, by a miracle, the alligator gets free, and with a kind heart just lets the snake go free instead of killing it. Number 4. Cocky red hawk versus diamondback rattlesnake. We all know the story of how feared rattlesnakes are, but the red-tailed hawk is the king of the skies, and you will soon find out why. The hawk comes onto the snake. As the snake rattles its tail to fend off the hawk, it soon realizes that there is a creature higher in the food pyramid than him. The hawk quickly grabs the rattlesnake's head, and slowly it ensures itself some juicy rattlesnake's meat for the day's meal. Number 3. Sonic the Unfriendly Hedgehog versus Mr. Viper. You have probably seen these hedgehogs only in movies, as they have sharp spines on their back. But let's not forget how fierce they are. Remember now, these creatures have the easiest defense tactics. Once threatened, all they do is roll up into a ball and shoot out a couple of their sharp spines to make you suffer with agonizing pain. Here you will see the sneaky snake creeping up on the hedgehog, and quickly it shoots its spines like a bullet for the offensive attack. I don't think it was a good day for the snake, as it easily got the message that you don't mess with Hedgehog. Number 2. Senor Woodpecker versus the King Cobra. Here we see that somehow the King Cobra made its way almost 100 feet up the tree and into the woodpecker's nest, looking for some juicy woodpeckers as lunch. But the mother was not going to take it lightly. Fighting back and forth, she's willing to risk it all. And eventually, after probably 50 to 100 pecks into the snake's flesh, eventually the snake realized it was messing with the wrong creature, crawling out of the nest and making its way back down the tree. Lesson learned, never mess with a woodpecker's family. Number 1, and lastly, Iguana versus Snake Island. It's clear that these snakes have not eaten for days, and as the chase started, we can clearly see almost 100 snakes are chasing him for a sweet meal. And just like a speeding Bugatti, the iguana runs for his life. Eventually, 5 snakes capture him, strangling him almost to death. But with the will of life, he manages to get away and make another run for freedom. No, even though a majority of human beings fear snakes, I guess there are other animals that see them as no threat. Please comment below on what you think about these fierce opponents and if you think they will win every fight. And if you want to see more videos just like this, please subscribe and remember, always stay enlightened.